Thank you so much for being here to celebrate our hard-working students. So before we begin tonight, I've been asked to share a few words on behalf of our principal, Matthew Haney, and he writes, "Good evening and welcome to MDI High School's spring concert. I've been so looking forward to welcoming you all in person this evening, but due to a rescheduled event, I'm unfortunately unable to be there. That being said, I want to express just how happy I am and pleased with the incredible work our student musicians and music staff have done to prepare this performance for you tonight. The theme of storytelling is such a powerful one, and I know the selections you'll hear this evening will take us on journeys through history, nature, imagination, and emotion. Everything music does best. I'm deeply grateful for this energy, creativity, and dedication of our music program. And to all the students performing tonight, break a leg. And to the audience, enjoy the show. You're in for something truly special. Now, without further ado, please enjoy the 2025 MDIHS Spring Concert.
Once upon a time, in a high school by the sea, the MDIHS music program gathered its finest musicians for a magical evening of music and storytelling. This was no ordinary concert. It was a journey through sound and imagination, where every student played a part in weaving a tale of talent, passion, and hard work. Join us for a night where melodies become spells, harmonies unfold like chapters, and the stage transforms into a land of musical wonder. It is time for you to be a part of a concert destined to become legendary. Starting with orchestra.
Wicked, music and lyrics by Stephen Schwartz, arranged by Ted Ricketts. Wicked tells the untold story of Elphaba and Glinda, two young women in a land of Oz whose unlikely friendship defies expectations. As they navigate rivalry, politics, and personal transformation, Wicked explores what it means to be misunderstood and how labels like good and wicked can depend on perspective. Filled with heart, humor, and unforgettable music, Wicked is a story of courage, compassion, and the power of staying true to yourself.
or Lied by Gustav Mahler, arranged by Matthew Mayo. From Gustav Mahler's Second Symphony, titled The Resurrection Symphony, Mahler not only reflects and questions religious norms, but he explores the stages of grief through his symphonic protagonist. He seeks to find answers as the symphony's hero learns to accept his tragic fate established in the first movement. Originally a vocal feature, the lyrics are as followed. O little red rose, humanity lies in greatest need. Humanity lies in greatest pain, how I would rather be in heaven.
Thank you so much. Our next selection is entitled Fiddle Faddle by Leroy Anderson. Fiddle Faddle tells the story of an individual within our orchestra. A senior who truly enjoys string music, specifically fiddling. Amelia Van Dongen is the definition of what the MDIHS orchestra is all about. A strong love for string playing, a work ethic like no other, and a kind and sweet heart that ties and brings our orchestra together. Amelia has taken the time to take private lessons from our string instructor, Richard Sue, specifically to learn this piece by one of her favorite composers, Leroy Anderson. Thank you, Amelia, for exemplifying what it means to be a musician at MDI High School. We are excited for the next chapter of your story at the University of Maine at Orono. Go Black Bears! Any Black Bears out here? All right, awesome. We hope you enjoy Fiddle Faddle by Leroy Anderson featuring Amelia Van Dongen Sr. on violin.
will be playing Dragon's Revenge by Dion Morales. Notes and story from the composer. An age of peace is coming to an end. The earth rumbles as the dragon emerges from a mountain. A screeching roar brings the land to a forced silence, and the rumble of the beast's voice resonates throughout the land. You have hunted and slain my kin since the start of the age of men. We have cowered in fear as you track our flight and attempt to tame us. This will now come to an end. You shall taste my wrath, and I will have my revenge.
Our final piece for orchestra is No One Is Alone from Into the Woods. Music and lyrics by Stephen Sondheim and arranged by James Kasich. No one is alone speaks to the quiet truth that even in our darkest, most uncertain moments, we are connected to the people we've loved, the choices we've made, and the communities we shape. This song offers a compassionate reminder that while we often face hard decisions without clear answers, our actions echo in the lives of others. It encourages empathy, responsibility, and the realization that support and understanding can be found even when we feel isolated. At its core, the piece is a gentle affirmation that, though the path forward may be difficult, we never truly walk it alone.
I'd also like to mention that you see a new conductor up on the podium. This is Simon Zane, senior trumpet player, viola player, now new vocalist as well. So we wanted to give him an opportunity to conduct us a beautiful piece. So. And now we are on to the chorus section of our concert.
Thank you so much, and again, thank you to our music boosters. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for the support that you give to the music program and to our kids. Thanks, guys. And welcome to the concert chorus portion of our evening. We will keep with the storytelling theme of our concert, though there is a hidden theme woven into the choral portion. And you know, when you're singing lyrics, it's actually pretty easy to tell a story. It's kind of laid out for you right there. Our first song, John Dowland wrote "Flow My Tears" and published it in 1600. It was intended to be sung by groups of friends gathered around a table, and melancholy was very much in favor at the time. And friends would indulge in emotional role-playing while singing Dowland's lyrics, and he wrote these lyrics himself. They express the most profound hopelessness. He even argues that those poor souls in hell should be glad that they are not in his position. You can go again. One more. That's good. Thank you. So what inspired such dire sentiments from Mr. Dowland? Well, he doesn't include that in his story, so we can imagine. But it's also likely that we've all maybe felt close to this way one time or another. So enjoy, as they would have at the time, the deep and dire emotionalism of "Flow My Tears."
From your screen.
a sea shanty. Shanties are songs that date back as far as the 1400s and were sung by sailors on fishing and merchant ships. The Wellerman tells the tale of sailors hunting the right whale. In what is intended to be a comedic turn of events, the whale that they harpoon is not brought to shore by the sailors. Rather, the ship is dragged farther out to sea by the whale until the sailors, lost and exhausted, release the whale and limp off to find their way home. It's a great story, especially if you are rooting for the whale. Soloists in this song are Elvis Rockwell, Graham Carter, George Waldrop, Simon Chang, and thank you very much to Mr. LaMontagne, who took on directing and teaching this piece. This is new. Shenandoah is a song that originated in the early 1800s with American and Canadian fur trappers. No one quite knows who wrote it, but it has spread around the globe by sailors for centuries. Some say it expresses a deep longing for a far distant home in West Virginia's Shenandoah Valley. Others say it expresses the longing of a fur trapper who hoped to return to marry his love, the daughter of a Native American elder. Just goes to show that like all great works of art, the beauty and the meaning is in the eye, or in this case, the ear of the beholder. Wade in the Water is an American spiritual. These have been known as African American spirituals, or in days long past, the Negro spiritual. These are songs written in the oral tradition by people enslaved in the American colonies and states. These songs are all religious in nature, and they evolved as a form of resistance and expression, blending African music traditions with Christian hymns. Many of these songs highlight biblical stories that resonated with an enslaved population, like stories of miracles that set captives free. Many of the songs use biblical references to pass practical advice to slaves seeking freedom, such as in this given song, to wade in the water, a sentiment that referred to a baptism, but also suggested a strategy to help freedom seekers mask their scent to avoid capture by slave hunters who use dogs. Just wade in the water at every opportunity. This musical genre, uniquely American, gave birth to the blues, jazz, and rock and roll. Soloists in this song are Jolene Ryerson, Molly Doherty, Rosie Ellis, Evangeline Meister, Harmony Hopkins, and Emma Astle. There Will Come Soft Rains is a two-movement work using two poems by Sarah Teasdale, who lived from 1884 to 1933. The opening poem is May Night. The spring is fresh and fearless, and every leaf is new. The world is brimmed with moonlight, the lilac brimmed with dew. Here in the moving shadows I catch my breath and sing. My heart is fresh and fearless and over-brimmed with spring. The second poem is There Will Come Soft Rains. And the smell of the ground, and swallows circling with their shimmering sound, and frogs in the pools singing at night, and wild plum trees in tremulous white. Robins will wear their feathery fire, whistling their whims on a low fence wire. And not one will know of the war, not one. Not one will care at last when it's done. Not one would mind, neither bird nor tree, if mankind perished utterly. And spring herself, when she woke at dawn, would scarcely know that we were gone. Thank you so much to Sofia Kleshneva for accompanying this song for the chorus.
who received varsity letters this year for pep band were Simon Zhang, Evie Pratt, Violet Rideout, Boss Lizzie, Meadow Gilly, Rosie Ellis, Brady Baldridge, and Amelia Van Dongen. Mixed pins, meaning that they've received varsity letters in the past. So people receiving pins were Jeffrey Bean, Graham Carter, Hannah Lawson, Paige Worcester, Aiden Farrow, Lydia McKenzie, Jacob Willard, Lolietta Ellis, and Alex Osier. And we gave out a special Pep Band Award this year, the Pep Band Spirit Award, which was presented to Paige Worcester.
All right, next. I don't know if this might be the first time he's hearing this, so this might be kind of a bigger surprise. Excellence in Jazz Ensemble, Shalene Mirzayev.
Excellence in the Show Choir Stage Company, Harmony Hopkins. And excellence in our Show Choir Pit, Corin Baker.
And for our Tri-M Music Honor Society Service Award, our president, Evangeline Meister. And Outstanding Debut Award, this goes to our new members of each ensemble. For Symphonic Band, Christina Mobley.
For chorus, Jolene Ryerson.
And the orchestra was Kieran Miller. For excellence in band, chorus, or orchestra, our awards started with, for Symphonic Band, Lolietta Ellis.
For chorus, Emma Astle.
And last but not least, orchestra, Amelia Van Dongen. And the VPA, Visual and Performing Arts Department Award for the top scholar, Jacob Willard.
And we had our first ever MDIHS Music Leadership Award, which was presented to Simon Zhang.
All right, we'd like to have one last acknowledgement of our seniors. I'll be reading all of the names, and seniors, when your name is called, will you please come down and get a hug and a flower? And then maybe just make a line here, an arc, oh, maybe over in front of the piano. How about that? All right. Not everyone will be here, but I will also say, in my experience, this is one of the larger groups of seniors that we have graduated. All right. To start, Simon Zhang. And Zoe Ray. Claire Risey. By the way, anybody who wants to hug me can do it later. I'm a big hugger. No pressure, though. No pressure. All right, Mai Ishimura. Corin Baker, Nicole Seavey, Lawson Waldrop, Jack DeBellis, Emma Askell, Elizabeth Evans, Harmony Jalen Holmes. Jacob Willard. Elle Langley. Shoni Mirtoyev. And Elvis Rockwell.
Get your phones out. It's time to get the picture. Hello. Which direction do And we have one last surprise. Seniors, you may sit down. We have a surprise for an individual that I'm going to give our microphone to, Emily and Brian from our boosters.
So this is a surprise. So I'm Brian Bohr, I'm the president of the Music Boosters, and with me is Emily LaJoy, and we are, would like to recognize Jacob and his partner James, who are getting married on Saturday, and we are so excited for them!
Since these lovely musicians have been singing for quite a while and their instruments are getting cold and full spit and all this other stuff, it is time for us to do a quick warm-up chorale, and then we'll get into the actual program.
So the first piece we're going to be doing is one called Storm. Storm is a powerful number from George Rivera Harris's epic, The Musical, a contemporary retelling of Homer's The Odyssey through the lens of modern musical theater and cinematic pop. In this song, the protagonist, Odysseus, confronts both external turmoil and inner chaos as he battles a literal and metaphorical storm. With thunderous rhythms, haunting melodies, and emotionally charged lyrics, Storm captures the intensity of a hero wrestling with the god beside him over his fate, identity, and the weight of leadership.
The next piece we will be playing is Snapshot of Acadia by Andrew Boyson Jr. Snapshot of Acadia is a vibrant and evocative word-for-wind ensemble composed by Andrew Boyson Jr. Inspired by the natural beauty of Acadia National Park in Maine, this piece was commissioned to celebrate the region's striking landscape, its rugged coastlines, dense forests, and sweeping mountain vistas. Boyson's music captures his scenic elements through rich textures, soaring melodies, and rhythmic vitality. Rather than depicting a single scene, the work offers a series of musical snapshots, inviting listeners to imagine moments of awe, reflection, and adventure within this iconic national treasure. For performers, this piece represents both technical challenge and expressive opportunity, mirroring the emotional depth and majesty of Acadia itself.
All right, so our final piece of the night is phantasmic. Phantasmic, it means to represent the power of imagination, that incredible ability we all share to dream of what could be. We envision futures filled with success and possibilities. We imagine new ideas that might help others. And sometimes we imagine magical words simply to escape the reality of our everyday lives. Tonight, as we turn the final page of this musical storybook, we also acknowledge a different kind of chapter ending, one for our senior students. If you are a senior at MDI High School, would you please stand for this final message? Any senior, even if you're not a musician. To our seniors, the MDIHS music program wants you to remember that this is just your once upon a time, the beginning of your happily ever after. We look forward to the day you return home and share the stories we didn't get to experience alongside you. May every dream you imagine become a reality. Thank you for your hard work, your heart, and your commitment to this school and our community. And now, before we close this musical chapter, let's experience one final musical phantasmic. Thank you all so much for a wonderful spring concert, and we are excited for next Memorial Day, which is on Monday, so catch us at Southwest Harbor and Northeast Harbor for the parades there, as well as graduation as well. So plenty of stuff to see still, finishing out these last few weeks of school. So thank you very much, and have a good night.